ho ho and welcome to the new show. I'm your host, Random Rob, and it's Christmas Eve in North America. Merry Christmas to all my viewers who are celebrating tonight. I'm home alone tonight, so I'm probably going to watch some Christmas movies after I do this. And what I wanted to do tonight, since I kind of raked Disney over the coals last time, was talk about my favorite Walt Disney movie, The Journey of Natty Gann. Now most people, when you mention that title, will go, what? The Journey of Natty Gann was a movie from 1985 that was directed by Jeremy Kagan, a prolific television director. The screenplay was written by Gene Rosenberg. Rosenberg wrote a few scripts for animal films. She had a knack for it. She worked on The Black Stallion. She worked on The Howling. She wrote The Journey of Natty Gann, which features the wolf dog Jed, who you might know from John Carpenter's The Thing. And Rosenberg would also write the script for White Fang, which also starred Jed, the wolf dog. Most of the production of this film took place in Canada, Vancouver, Alberta, and British Columbia. The story involves a girl during the Great Depression. The year is 1935, and Natty lives in Chicago with her father, who is a bit of an agitator in the local labor union and wants the men to be paid better wages. Natty's father, Saul, ends up getting a lucrative job in the Pacific Northwest, but he has to leave quickly, and he doesn't get to say a proper goodbye, and Natty gets stuck with her landlady, who really doesn't want to take care of her. The story of the film is very simple. Natty runs away and travels across country to find her dad. Along the way, she's helped by a drifter played by John Cusack in one of his few early serious roles. And at various points, she's also joined by the wolf, played by Jed the wolf dog. The portrayal of the Great Depression is very well done. The costumes by designer Albert Wolski were actually up for an Oscar nomination that year, but lost to Akira Kurosawa's Ran. The outdoor photography is lush and beautiful. The nighttime photography in the film also, for a film from 1985, is very high contrast. It looks really great on a Blu-ray. I also don't know what kind of film stock was used in Natty Gann, but it has that quality of that desaturated film stock that they had in The Godfather. But where in The Godfather it accentuates like the reds and the golds. In the case of Natty Gann, this film's blues and greens were really rich. It's just a really nice looking film of that year. And there's a reason why this film is probably one of the most significant Disney movies of all time. It is one Disney film that completely breaks the princess mold that, if you know anything about Disney movies, you know all about. You know, the girl who comes from a poor background but turns out to be related by blood to the royal family and has a magical scepter and yada yada yada. The Journey of Natty Gann dispenses with all of that. Natty's a poor, humble girl. She remains one through the entire film. She has no magical powers. She does not marry John Cusack at the end of the film. In the first scene we see her, she gets into a fist fight with two other teenage boys in a bathroom while they're smoking cigarettes. Name the last time an underage Disney heroine was smoking and fist fighting in the first 5 minutes of the movie. That's what I'm talking about. It's a very different kind of film. This was in the period in the early 80s where Disney was really going crazy putting out different kinds of movies to try to attract a different kind of crowd, whether it was Tron or Dragon Slayer or The Black Hole or The Journey of Natty Gann. They were breaking their own formulas to see what would happen. The sad part is this film was actually lost for a long time. It was never released on DVD in North America, and was out of print for nearly 20 years, I believe. It's now finally available on Blu-ray in North America. While I can't recommend paying the prices that some of the merchants on Amazon are trying to sell the Blu-ray for, I would mention that there is a Region 2 widescreen DVD of the film, I believe from Germany. And if you have a region-free DVD player or Blu-ray player, you can watch it on that. The film also has some notable cameos, including comedian Lainey Kazan as the landlady Connie, and Scatman Crothers in his final film role as Sherman, the street merchant. Ray Wise plays Natty's father Saul in the film. Most viewers will probably recognize him from Twin Peaks. As for young actress Meredith Salinger, this was her first film. She won a Film Youth Award for Natty Ann, but I don't think got any notice at the Oscars. Disney apparently got applications from several thousand teenagers for the role. Meredith Salinger was picked after they had interviewed about 300. And she's really good in the part. She's scrappy, she has a no-nonsense attitude. She's a tomboy, and yet the film doesn't really get into trying to push her femininity in any way, which is kind of refreshing for a Disney film. There's no romantic subplot, which is refreshing. But you might be asking, why is this my favorite Disney film? Because nothing bad happens in it. Because it's a film that's not afraid to be a plain, simple story about a girl trying to find her dad. You know, in a modern cinema loaded with over-convoluted plot lines and unnecessary violence and effects, to see a film where Disney was actually going out on a limb, to be humble. Well, I want to thank you all for visiting with me tonight. Those of you celebrating the holiday, have a wonderful Christmas. Be safe. Don't drink too much spiked eggnog. And enjoy this time with your friends and family. And I will see you next time here at The New Show. Good night.